So it looks like we are on the air. It looks like we are on the air here for the NBA 2016 NBA D-League draft. We're about 23 minutes away from this 2016 NBA D-League draft. And ladies and gentlemen, I am excited. I'm so excited that I spent all of my Saturday writing a 3,000-word NBA D-League draft big board. I'm kind of crazy about this whole D-League draft. I'm kind of crazy about basketball in general, but I am especially crazy about the NBA D-League as I am the editor-in-chief of Ridiculous Upside. So we are about 22 minutes away from this NBA D-League draft. And if you want to hit me up with any questions, comments, concerns, you're always welcome. We actually live? Links. Hold up. Okay, we are live. Good. Two people are watching. Okay. So, like I said, 22 minutes away from the NBA D-League draft, and as we lead up until the first pick with the early Bayhawks, who will likely select Anthony Brown, our friend over at the step back. I'm going to have to remember to say the step back, other than upside and motor, because it's a step back now. Hardwood paroxysm has, changed into the step back, but I am a huge fan of what Chris Reichert is doing at the step back. I was going to say upside motor, but it is the stepback.com. So as we lead up, 1 minute away from the NBA D-League draft, and on this live stream, I am hoping to have on some Ridiculous Upside contributors, some NBA D-League draft prospects. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what I'm doing with this. I'm not even sure if I sent out the right link. I'm going to try doing that right now. I'm not even sure I set up the right link for this live stream, but I'm going to do that right now. Hopefully people watch, sending comments, sending questions, so we can get a cool little dialogue going. And don't mind my hair. I literally just took a shower. I got a shower at 12:30. I left the shower, looked at the clock, saw it was 12:30. And kind of got a little antsy, a little nervous, because I was worried that I wasn't able to get on here in time to do this NBA D-League draft live stream. But as we lead up until this NBA D-League draft, let's take a look over at some of the top. Of course, as we mentioned, number one is probably Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown was a member of the Lakers, was a member of the up-and-coming Lakers roster until the team actually, unfortunately, waived him a week or so ago. And he's inarguably the top prospect in this draft. Again, he was a former he was an NBA prospect, until he was waived, a few weeks ago by the LA Lakers. Before he went to the Lakers, he was a huge 3-and-D weapon at Stanford, shooting 39, 40, I think one season he shot 44% from beyond the arc. And his shooting has actually became transition from becoming his biggest strength to his biggest weakness, as he has struggled shooting with the Lakers and, during some of his assignments in the NBA D League with the LA Defenders. But here's hoping, possibly with the Erie Bayhawks, that he can get that shooting back on schedule. And after that, it's anybody's guess. It's going to be the second overall pick by the Santa Cruz Warriors. Again, the Santa Cruz Warriors, every single season, they're one of the more exciting teams in the NBA, in the NBA D League. And as we wait and hope, and as we wait for the NBA draft to come, I'm going to take a break from this whole talking thing to actually send out the exact live stream link so everybody can watch. So as I'm sending that link, Travis Leslie. I was a huge fan of Travis Leslie when he was actually with the Santa Cruz Warriors a few years ago. He was a D-League All-Star, D-League All-Star MVP, I believe, and he's most known for his on-ball cutting. He is a tremendous dunker, and those dunks are probably the biggest reason why I want to see him back in the NBA D-League, because he was just a whole lot of fun to watch when he was in the D-League with the Santa Cruz Warriors in, I believe it was the 2012-13 season. Again, people, don't mind my hair. I got out of the shower like 15 minutes ago. So yeah, after Travis Leslie, I'm just going down my D-League draft big board. I know our friend Adam Johnson over at D-League Digest, his is a whole lot different. He even has some players I forgot to put on my top 50. I spent hours going through making this draft big board, and I even forgot players. I don't know what that means. Does it mean that I'm an idiot? Or does it mean that this NBA D-League draft is kind of stacked with quality potential D-League prospects? I'm not sure. I think it's more the first one. I think it's the fact that I'm a huge idiot, because I forgot players like Julio Roberts, who was actually on the Bucks, my favorite NBA team. They were on the Bucks. He was on the Bucks Summer League and preseason roster, and I forgot him. I forgot about Will Davis. I think Will Davis was a former UC Irvine prospect, a former UC Irvine forward. Last season, he averaged 12.9 points, 7 rebounds per game for UC Davis, and I forgot about him. So I forgot about a lot of players in my draft big board, but it's still filled with some potentially intriguing draft. I think as we lead up, we're now 15 minutes away from the NBA, the start of the NBA D-League draft, as the Erie Bayhawks are on the clock. We presume that they're going to draft Anthony Brown, but let's take a look at some of the more intriguing prospects. And when we talk about intriguing, Max Hooper, 6'6" guard. He played at 3 colleges during his college career. He played at Harvard, then he went to St. John's, then he went to Oakland, where he really just popped off. At Oakland, he just popped off, especially from beyond the arc. And I should have said exclusively from beyond the arc, because during his senior season, he didn't shoot any 2-pointers. He didn't shoot any 2-pointers during the entire college season. Like, he didn't even mistakenly shoot a 3-pointer with his toes on the line. For the entire season, Max Hooper knew to stand beyond the arc when he was going to shoot the basketball. And when he did that, he was pretty awesome. 45% from behind the arc. And ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer and as I try to fix my hair because it's in my eyes and I know I need a haircut and I have no idea what I'm doing with this, but it's a journey. It's a journey, ladies and gentlemen. It is a definite journey as we get closer and closer to the start of the NBA D-League draft. And Max Hooper is definitely a player to take a look out for today and over the course of the NBA D-League season. I know this is a pretty easy comparison to make, especially for very, very perimeter-minded guards in the NBA D-League, but him and Max Hooper and Brady Haslip going against each other. Max Hooper and Scott Wood of the Scott Wood is gonna be with the Santa Cruz Warriors. Those two going against each other, 1-on-1, perimeter jumper after perimeter jumper. It's gonna be a joy to watch. I think it's probably gonna be a little hard to actually keep track of how many perimeter jumpers that these guys shoot, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I love me some perimeter shooting, and I really don't get enough of that with my Milwaukee Bucks. But moving on, another solid perimeter shooter is a player that's a former McDonald's All-American, former University of Kansas alum, and he kind of got lost in the shuffle at the University of Kansas because of the fact that they bring in so many terrific prospects year in and year out. The last few years they brought in the likes of Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Joel Embiid. These are players that have played with Brandon Green over the last few years, and as a 6'8" forward, he's probably going to be one of the biggest stretch fours in the NBA D-League this year. At Kansas, even though he got the short end of the stick every while throughout his Kansas career, he is a pretty dominating threat from beyond the arc. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see what Brandon Green can do this year. Hopefully when he can average, maybe 20, 25, maybe even 30 minutes in the NBA D-League. And moving on with other intriguing prospects. Let's talk about... There's a lot of intriguing names. Let's talk about Sterling Gibbs. This guy is an alum of Texas. He's an alum of Seton Hall, and he is an alum of UConn. But Gibbs was both solid at Seton Hall and at UConn. He was especially good during his time with Seton Hall. During the 2014-15 season, Sterling Gibbs averaged 16.3 points, 3.8 assists per game on 43% from the field and 44% from beyond the arc. That led him to being named All Big East second team during the 2014-15 season. And during his time in UConn, he wasn't as prolific and as efficient during that season, but he was still really solid. I'm trying to pull up the numbers right in front of me. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, I do need a haircut pretty badly. I do need a haircut pretty badly. But let's not talk about haircuts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about what Sterling Gibbs did at the University of Connecticut with the Huskies during that 2015-16 season. That efficient or as prolific as he was during his time at Seton Hall, but he still put up pretty good numbers at UConn. 12.25 points per game on 38% 39% shooting and 39% from beyond the arc. No, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Max Cooper, he actually was able, or let me scratch that, was willing to shoot the ball inside the perimeter and drive the paint. He's a pretty prolific cutter too, but at 39% from the field and 39% from beyond the arc. Another intriguing player, and he was Sterling Gibbs was sixth on my list of NBA D-League prospects, and we are standing here. We are 8 minutes away until the Erie Bayhawks are officially on the clock. 8 minutes until they are officially, or 7 minutes until they are officially on the clock. And during my lead-up, during my analysis, during my discussion of the NBA draft big board, I looked at a lot of mid-major prospects, and one of those guys is Chris Horton, 6'8" forward from Austin P. If you don't know the name Chris Horton, you're going to, because I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell you about him during his senior season at Austin P. Chris Horton averaged a pretty amazing 18.8 points, 12 rebounds, 1.7 blocks, 1.4 steals per game on 59% from the field. Ladies and gentlemen, what else do you want from an NBA D-League prospect? What else do you want from a 6'8" forward that Chris Horton doesn't give you? He gives you rebounds. He gives you offensive rebounds. He gives you blocks. He gives you steals. And I think I'm starting to sound like Stephen A. Smith, but ladies and gentlemen, Chris Horton, as Monta Ellis once said, Chris Horton does it all. And hopefully he can bring that all to an NBA D-League team this season. Hopefully he can do that. We don't know. I don't know. The D-League can get pretty crazy, can get pretty wild, but hopefully it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And I even looked at the live chat. I don't know if anybody is here chatting. I see Charge Nation, charge up. I see Chino Mania, charge up. Let's go. And the Charge picking, they are picking 19th. And if we are going off our NBA D-League draft big board, that would have the Charge picking LaDante Henton, former Providence Wayne, that averaged 19.7 points, 6.5 rebounds per game on 45% from the field and 34% from beyond the arc in 2014-15. He was a fantastic player at Providence, and he was able to still be fantastic. He's actually able to be a tremendous, great Jordan-esque, not Jerome Jordan, not Marcus Jordan, not Jeffrey Jordan, Michael Jordan-esque in the Philippines, in the PBA, the Philippines, with the Alaska Aces. That's kind of a weird name for a team in the Philippines. You know, it's when you think of the Philippines, you think of, you know, nice people, amazing weather. And when you think of Alaska, you think, you know, half the year it's dark and half the year it's light. And you also think of Sarah Palin. I can see Russia from my house, but that's just a weird pairing in my personal opinion. But with the Alaska Aces in the PBA, the Philippine Basketball League, Henton averaged 31.5 points and 12 rebounds on 51% in the field and 42% from beyond the arc. Those are pretty crazy numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Those are pretty crazy numbers, but we can get a little crazy here. We can get a little crazy here. in the NBA D League and in the NBA D League draft, which starts in 3 minutes. I've been talking 20 minutes straight. If you want to come on, if you want to talk to me or to the SB Nation ridiculous upside viewership, you're always welcome aboard. You're always welcome aboard. But 3 minutes away, I've been talking for 20 minutes straight. Like I can feel some stuff starting to get in my throat. But I'm still gonna be here. Talking, chatting, doing whatever as we lead up to this NBA D League draft. 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away. And this is being aired. This is just being aired here on YouTube Live. Sid Health. We're not in the studio. We're actually in my bedroom right now. I'm probably gonna have to move and reposition myself where my lighting is and all that good stuff. But I am just gonna be sitting here doing some live NBA D League draft analysis because the NBA D League draft is here. It is here. We are little under 2 minutes away from the NBA D League draft. And I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen, because the D League season is right around the corner. But as we talk about the NBA D League, let's start talking about some of the latest news that's been going on in the NBA D League. Yesterday, as I was researching and working on that NBA draft big board, a few teams announced their, training camp roster pre-NBA D League draft training camp roster. And two of those teams were the Austin Spurs and the Delaware 87ers. Can I use screen share here? I think I can screen share. Hold up. Let me try to screen share so you can see what I'm looking at. All right. Hold up. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing here. But on the Austin Spurs, on the Austin Spurs training camp, you have some affiliate players in Ryan Arcidiacono, former Villanova player, Livio John Charles, a former, I think it was a 2014 or 2013 NBA draft pick up by the Spurs. He spent some time with friends, draft and stash. They waived him, but they're still hoping he does some stuff with the Austin Spurs in the D League. Joel Eddy's returning. Joel Eddy, he is, as I like to say, both prolific and efficient. I'm excited to see my boy Joel Eddy return to the D League. Pato Garino, former George Washington alum, and we are here. The NBA D League draft is here. I have the NBA D League draft big board, just the NBA draft board right in front of me. And as we continue talking, ladies and gentlemen, let me pull up this NBA draft board on my on screen share. Okay, like I said before, first pick, Erie Bayhawks. Second overall pick is the OKC Blue. Then we have the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. Then going back to back, it's the Grand Rapids Drive. Then it's back to the Delaware 87ers. They have the Greensboro Swarm logo, but they have Northern Arizona picking. I'm not sure if this is a mistake. Hopefully. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah. The Northern Arizona Suns are going to pick there. Then Texas Legends. Then it's the Santa Cruz Warriors to pick that they got from the Raptors. At 11, we have the Iowa Energy. Number 12, we have the expansion, Windy City Bulls. Number 13, we have Greensboro Swarm. Number 14, we have the Long Island Nets. Number 15, the Salt Lake City Stars. Number 16, the Westchester Knicks. 17, RGV Vipers. 18, Austin Spurs. 19, Canton Charge. 20, Maine Red Claws. 21, RGV Vipers. Closing out the list, number 22, it is the Sioux Falls Sky Force. And this is a little different this year. Like this is probably the only live streamy things that we have going on here. The NBA D League does not have that. They don't. So I'm as uncertain as a lot of you guys are about what's going to happen over the next few hours. I'm concerned about what's going to happen over the next few hours, but I'm excited. I'm excited to talk a little NBA D League and NBA D League draft with you, everybody. Yeah, I'm here. The NBA D League draft has just begun. NBA D League draft where names are made. So, everybody in comments, tell me who some of your more intriguing draft prospects are. Tell me. I have no idea what's going on here. I've said that before. I'm trying to do my best and make sure that this doesn't turn into a complete and utter train wreck. I am. But I'm here. NBA D League draft is here. Bayhawks announced who they pick. I'm not sure. I am trying to refresh this NBA draft board as fast as I can. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have this inside info. I don't have TV or Matt Brazy of the Erie Bayhawks. I don't have these analysis in my ear. I don't have lists everybody, all these D-League teams in my ear. I'm basically like all of you, all the other D-League fans, except that I'm a little more crazy and I write 3,000 words. I write a 3,000-word NBA draft big board. I'm crazy. I'm weird. I have hair in my eye. My hair's a mess. I need to get a haircut and yada, 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 yada. Yada, 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 yada. You're not professional. You're not professional at all. This is getting a little nuts. 5 minutes in, the NBA D-League draft has begun. And I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. I'm just trying to figure out who's pick two and all that fun stuff. Matt Brazy, the president of the Erie Bayhawks, haven't announced anything, and neither has the Erie Bayhawks. They haven't announced anything, so technically they're still on the clock. So I really can't give much in terms of analysis until they announce who the heck they're going to pick. Until they announce who the heck they're going to pick. But one exciting thing to talk about as we wait until the Erie Bayhawks announce who they're going to pick is the fact that in this D-League draft, we have 3 Indian prospects. Yeah, 3 Indian prospects. Over the last few seasons, we have seen 2 Indian play in the NBA D-League. We have seen Simbu Lar, and we saw Sanam Singh play for Texas Legends last year. He's going to return to the Texas legends this year. Hopefully, he has a bigger role. I want to see more of Satnam Singh than did playing time that he had last year. But I'm excited to see more of Satnam Singh this year. I don't know what's going on with Simbular. I don't know if he headed overseas or if he's going to return to the D League, but I'm still excited to see more of Simbular. Hopefully, he has lost a little weight since the last time we saw him play in uniform. But 3 of the Indian prospects in this year's draft: Amjad Singh, 6'8" forward that was 20th on our list of our NBA draft big board. Pardon pardon delay and me kind of seeming a little nervous and anticipating because the Erie Bayhawks still haven't announced who they're going to pick with the first overall pick in the NBA D-League draft. But Amjad Singh, he was 20 on our list because in other like FIBA tournaments in the FIBA Asia Championships, he really impressed. He impressed in that tournament, and he seems from the clips I saw of him, he seems like a pretty well-rounded player. He's a 6'8" forward. That's a pretty nice perimeter stroke. He can cut to the paint. He has a quick first step. Can get to the paint easily, and he's a prospect to take a look out for. Another prospect is Palpreet Singh Barlar, 6'9" center that comes to the NBA D League after I wrote about this for Ridiculous Upside. Palpreet Singh Barlar came from the NBA D League in like a little American Idol, The Voice kind of a tournament or tryout process where they had, I believe it was 40 of the top Indian players there, and the event was held by the NBA. They had some NBA coaches there. They had Brian Shaw, former coach of the Denver Nuggets, and I believe he is a current assistant coach with the LA Lakers. So Palpreet Singh Barlar was the best prospect among that bunch, and we can report here on the NBA D League draft that Anthony Brown goes number 1. He is the first overall pick by the Erie Bayhawks. Absolutely no surprise there. Anthony Brown, first overall pick by the Erie Bayhawks. As I mentioned, he's probably the most intriguing prospect in this D-League draft. Again, 6'8" forward out of Stanford. He spent the last 2 seasons. He spent the last season with the LA Lakers because he was I believe he was the 34th selection by the Lakers in the 2015 NBA draft, and now the D-League draft.
Where's that from? I need to clean this room.
I'm doing something. Now the D-League draft, pardon the interruption, everybody. Now the D-League draft officially begins because Anthony Brown has been selected by the Erie Bayhawks. Wait. And just like that, the Santa Cruz Warriors pick a player that wasn't in our draft big board. They picked Jaleel Roberts, UNC Asheville. Alum, as I mentioned earlier on in this live stream, Jaleel Roberts He played with the Milwaukee Bucks in Summer League and during the preseason. And let me pull up some of his stats at UNC Asheville. Jaleel Roberts. I'm pulling up some of the stats. But, of course, let me look through everything here. Erie Bayhawks, number 1. They select Anthony Brown, number 2. The Santa Cruz Warriors select Jaleel Roberts, and that leaves the OKC Blue on the clock. That leaves the OKC Blue on the clock here for the 3rd overall pick in this year's D-League draft. And as we talk D-League draft, the D-League changed up how Jaleel was spelled. Not like the Sixers, 76ers prospect Joel Okafor. It has JL Roberts. So as we talk here, let me pull up some of the stats on 7-foot prospect Jaleel Roberts during his time with UNC Asheville. Jaleel Roberts averaged 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.68 blocks per game. That 2.68 blocks per game is probably the main reason why the Santa Cruz Warriors picked him. It's especially for the D-League. It's really tough for them to figure out to try to find these dominating 7-foot centers. Now they're not like 6'5" shooting guards or point guards. They're not easy to come by. So the Santa Cruz Warriors saw Jaleel Roberts on that list, a 7-footer that can block shots until the break of dawn. And he is now a member of the Santa Cruz Warriors. Jaleel Roberts is now a member of the Santa Cruz Warriors. And we are now going into the 3rd overall pick, ladies and gentlemen, the OKC Blue. They draft Alex Hamilton from Louisiana Tech. Alex Hamilton, he was in the top 10. I really should have my ridiculous upside draft big board right in front of me, especially as we move along with this NBA D-League draft. And anybody that's watching here, always welcome to ask questions as we move on in this process of the NBA D-League draft. As the OKC Blue announced that they pick Alex Hamilton. That leaves the top 3 so far with the Erie Bayhawks selecting Anthony Brown. The Santa Cruz Warriors selecting Jaleel Roberts. And the OKC Blue announcing that they select Alex Hamilton, former player at Louisiana Tech. And as I try to pull up some of his numbers right in front of me, and as I pull up the NBA D-League Twitter, which might be a better source than the actual NBA draft big board than on their site. As I mentioned, Alex Hamilton, Louisiana Tech 6'4" guard. Last year's final season at Louisiana Tech, he averaged 19.8 points, 6.2 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and 2 steals per game. And anybody that covers that's in the OKC area or covers the OKC Blue, do your best to not make actual references to the musical Hamilton. Even when you're talking about Alex Hamilton, he's not Alexander Hamilton. He was not a forefather of this country. He wasn't. He was, just this Alex Hamilton is, just a Louisiana Tech alum that is heading to the OKC Blue. And the number 4 pick is in with Travis Leslie, 6'4" shooting guard, D-League All-Star. He is coming back to the D-League with the Fort Wayne Mad Ants, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said earlier on in this webcast, he is a very exciting player. He is a tremendous dunker, and this D-League draft is continuing on. Austin P alum, we talked about him earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Austin P alum, Chris Horton from Austin P, double, 18 points, 12 rebounds, more than 1.5 steals and 1.5 blocks per game during his senior season. Austin P, the Grand Rapids Drive, ladies and gentlemen, have picked him up. Fantastic selection there from the Grand Rapids Drive. And we are just moving right along. We are moving quickly down here in this NBA D-League draft of the Fort-Wayne Mad Ants back on the clock. Which player are they going to select to supplement? Which player are they going to select to supplement Travis Leslie? Are they going to select a point guard to supplement Travis Leslie in the backcourt, or are they going to pick front court's player? Are they going to pick a front court player to be an excellent rim protector or an excellent forward defender? And as we mentioned, we have just got the word on who the Fort-Wayne Mad Ants are going to pick. It is former D-League alum. I guess we can't say D-League alum anymore because he is returning to the D-League. It is former Ohio State. Or you can say former Ohio State forward because he's not going back to Ohio State. And that player is Dallas Lauderdale. He spent some time, I believe, in the 2013-14 season. He spent some time with the Idaho Stampede. He had some good moments there with the Idaho Stampede. It looks like the Fort-Wayne Mad Ants are looking for a sure thing, and at this point, a D-League alum, a player that actually has played in the D-League, it's probably the best way to go when you're a team that wants to make a return to the NBA D-League playoffs. So interesting selection here by the Fort-Wayne Mad Ants, but it is a fine selection by the Mad Ants, even though he wasn't on our big board. This is making me look like a huge idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 of the top 6 players were not on our draft big board. What am I doing? What did I spend all day Saturday doing 3,000 words, 50 prospects, when I couldn't even name you 2 of the top 6 prospects? That's how crazy the D-League draft is. You take all this time studying and watching film and anticipating who these teams might select, and they just throw you like a big Clayton Kershaw or late great Jose Fernandez type, curveball at you. They do that. These D-League teams just throw a huge curveball at you. And even though I'm excited, I'm also a little a little antsy, a little perturbed at this. But moving on, the Delaware 87ers were on the clock. The 7th overall pick. They select Kansas alum Brandon Green. The Delaware 87ers select Brandon Green, and as we mentioned earlier on in this webcast, Brandon Green, great 6'8" forward, former McDonald's All-American, and he is a pretty phenomenal perimeter shooter. Shot 42% from beyond the arc during his time at the University of Kansas, even though he was kind of pushed aside from Bill Self's Kansas roster, of course, as the Kansas Jayhawks, pick fantastic prospects on a year in, year out basis. Brandon Graham was kind of pushed aside, but maybe, hopefully, with the Delaware 87ers, he can use this opportunity to really showcase the type of player that he could be, the type of player that allowed him to be a McDonald's All-American just a few years ago. And we go to the Northern Arizona Suns, former Idaho Stampede. Idaho Stampede is a team that Santa Cruz Warriors broadcaster Kevin Dan wrote a brilliant little ebook about it. It's 65 pages, and I think it costs like $4.99 on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and any other place where you can buy ebooks. But he wrote a pretty solid ebook about the life and times, I guess, of the Idaho Stampede. But let's move on to the Northern Arizona Suns as they make their first pick as the Northern Arizona Suns, and they pick Michael Bryson, a guard from UC Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara. He was 28th on our NBA D-League draft big board, and during his senior season, Bryson averaged 18 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.4 assists per game on 48% from the field and 38% from beyond the arc. For a 6'4" guard, Bryson is a solid offensive rebounder as he averaged 1.6 offensive boards during his senior season at UC Santa Barbara, and now he is a member of the Northern Arizona Suns. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm saying ladies and gentlemen a lot. I don't know what else to say, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, the D-League draft is here. And let me refresh this big board so hopefully we can get updated list of the prospects that have been chosen. But at this point, have selected Anthony Brown. The Santa Cruz Warriors select Julio Roberts. The LKC Blues select Alex Hamilton. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants select Travis Leslie. The Grand Rapids Stride select Chris Horton. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants, yet again, they draft Dallas Lauderdale. The Delaware 87ers select Brandon Green. The Northern Arizona Suns select Michael Bryson. And at the number 9 pick, the Texas Legends. We are here, first here to say this. The Texas Legends select LSU prospect Keith Hornsby. I know, when it comes to basketball, LSU is probably not one of, teams with the best legacy, especially, in the recent, because they are one of the only teams in NCAA history that weren't able to make it to the actual NCAA tournament or any other postseason tournament, even though they had the number 1 overall NBA pick on their team in Ben Simmons. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that Keith Hornsby was a pretty damn solid basketball player. During his senior season at LSU, Hornsby averaged around 3.2 points on 45% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc. He's an excellent ball handler. He can also, move his way and drive his way towards the paint. So even though he is an alum of LSU and a team that, doesn't have the greatest basketball legacy, especially in recent years, he is a player. He's definitely not a slouch as a player. And it's going to be exciting to see him play with the Texas Legends. And as I would also like to mention that this selection is not surprising, as Hornsby spent training camp with the Dallas Mavericks, who of course are the owners of the Texas Legends. And now we move on to the number 10 pick with the Santa Cruz Warriors. Who are the Santa Cruz Warriors going to select? The supplement Mr. Jaleel Roberts. We wait. Are they going to select a guard? Are they going to select Kareem Canty? Are they going to select Shannon Brown? Are they going to select Sterling Gibbs? Are they going to select Sean Miller? Are they going to select another big and good luck Okinobo? Are they going to select good luck Okinobo? Are they going to select another, block getter and good luck Okinobo? Are they? I don't know. I think I'm saying good luck Okinobo. Good luck Okinobo. Good luck Okinobo. Good luck Okinobo. I don't know. But I think they're going to select the guard with the number 10 pick that they got from the Raptors, 905. And I was kind of right. They didn't select the guard. They didn't select the big man. They were right in the middle with LaDante Henton. We mentioned LaDante Henton earlier on in this webcast. Former Providence wing that averaged 19.7 points and 6.5 rebounds on 45% from the field and 34% from beyond the arc during his final season with Providence in 2014-15. In 2015-16, he spent some time with the Alaska Aces of the Philippine Basketball Association, where he averaged 31 points and 12 rebounds on 51% from the field and 42% from beyond the arc. And as we stand here, as we move on with this D-League draft, we move on to the Iowa Energy, who select Aaron Thomas, former Florida State prospect. If we move on to the screen share feature here for a moment, maybe we can have some fun at the fact that the NBA D-League misspelled Florida. Hopefully. I don't want to make the D-League angry. I love the D-League. But let's take a look at the fact that they spelled Florida State. They said the Florida State Seminoles, but Aaron Thomas, let's look up Aaron Thomas to see where he was on our draft big board. As you can see, he was 25th. He was 25th on our D-League draft big board. And as you can see here on this on the screen capture, he's a 6'4" guard that spent his college career at Florida State, not Florida State. I shouldn't make fun at all because I'm one to do some typos and misspellings often in my articles, but I am smart enough to look them over, but I am not, a great D-League worker that has to type in very quickly these draft selections for all the crazy D-League fans out there that are watching this webcast. But moving on to Aaron Thomas, because we have another draft prospect to talk about. As you can see here, the Iowa Energy select Hamilton. Wait a second. When did Jameson go to Hamilton? He went to Hampton. D-League. Come on, guys. Get it together, man. He went to Hampton, not Hamilton, not Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. I'm just... Should I just sing the whole Hamilton soundtrack? Because I kind of know it by hand and my ear and whatever. Let's move back to Aaron Thomas. Aaron Thomas, during 2014-15 season, he put up 14.8 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.3 steals per game on 45% from the field. After leaving Florida State, Thomas went to Germany to play for USC Heidelberg in Germany. In 8 games for the team, he put up 15.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.2 steals per game. And that was enough to put him 25th on our D-League draft big board. And moving on to a player that the Windy City Bulls selected, it is Quentin Chavis. Quentin Chavis from Hampton University, a great HBCU. Ridiculous upside contributor Jasmine Brown will be spending the season discussing these great HBCU prospects over the course of the season. Hopefully, find the next Quentin Chavis. But during his senior season at Hampton, Quentin Chavis averaged 10 points and 10.7 rebounds per game, and I believe from the field and not from beyond the arc. I believe it wasn't from beyond the arc. Dakota Schmidt, he made a mental mistake right there. He definitely made a mental mistake right there. I know he's a good prospect, but he didn't shoot 57% from beyond the arc. He shot 57% field during his time at Hampton. And that's a player that the Windy City Bulls select. Let's update this NBA draft board to see who the Greensboro Swarm select. They select Sean Miller. Long Island Nets select Boris Diaw. Let's move back to our NBA draft big board. Look up Sean Miller. He was 11th. We almost got it, ladies and gentlemen. We almost got the exact position where the prospect would be selected. But Greensboro drafted him at 13, and we had him at number 11. But Sean Miller, 6'7". The 6'7" Miller spent his college career at Cornell in Connecticut. During his time at Cornell, he was twice named to the All-Ivy League first team, both athletically and academically. Did you know that? Sean Miller, very smart dude. His best year at school came during his junior season, where he averaged 16.8 points and 8.5 rebounds per game on 47% from the field. After moving on to UConn, he still had success, putting up 12.3 points and 5 rebounds per game on 57% from the field. 57% from the field, ladies and gentlemen. Very solid player in Sean Miller. Let's move on to the 14th pick, Boris Diaw. Thankfully, these teams are picking players that we actually had on our big board to make us look kind of smart. Not like geniuses because we missed on the first 6 players, but Boris Diaw is a player to take a look out for in the upcoming D-League season. That's due to the fact that he is a 22-year-old 6'5" French guard. Over the last few seasons, Diaw spent time with KK, Partizan, and Antibes. In a limited role in Antibes, Diaw put up 5.1 points and 2 assists on 42% from the field on 21 minutes per game. So he's a player that has a bunch of overseas experience. And now he's hopefully going to have some experience. Hi, everybody. I decided to actually my stomach alert and sit cross-legged position. I know it was called Indian style a while back, but I don't think we can say that anymore. So with the cross-legged, where you cross your legs and you sit down position, but I'm getting a little old, so sitting in that position kind of, and also a little chubby, so sitting in that position doesn't work. So I'm just sitting here on my stomach like your typical teenage girl talking on the phone, like we've seen in like 80s movies where they talk on the phone and they play with a little telephone wire. You know, they talk on the phone, they play with the telephone wire. Like, oh, I love Jimmy. I do. I love Jimmy. You know, we're talking about that. We're talking like that 16 Candles type of stuff. But let's move back. Let's move back before I embarrass myself anymore, let's move back to the D-League draft. And we have our third player selected by the Salt Lake City Stars that wasn't on our draft big board. He is Jalen Bland from Cal Riverside. Let's take a look at the stats of Mr. Jalen Bland, Cal State Riverside prospect. And let's take a look here. Okay. I should have had this on our big board because he put up some numbers at UC Riverside during his senior season at UC Riverside. He averaged 16 points and 3.76 rebounds and 1.42 steals per game on 39% from the field and 40% from beyond the arc. 40% from beyond the arc on 8.8 perimeter attempts per game. 8.8 perimeter attempts per game, so he's a heck of a perimeter shooter. And let's move on to another player that's a heck of a perimeter shooter. Of course, Jalen Bland, Cal Riverside prospect, drafted by the Salt Lake City Stars, and with the 16th overall pick, the Westchester Knicks select Max Hooper. Our buddy, Max Hooper. A dude that's maxed out on hooping and maxed out on perimeter shooting because that's all he does. Literally, all he does. As we mentioned earlier on in this webcast, Max Hooper, we had him 13th on our NBA D-League draft big board. The Westchester Knicks, the Westchester Knicks selected him with their 16th overall pick. Max Hooper, 6'6" guard, spent his college career with Harvard, St. John's, and Oakland. But he did best with Oakland, ladies and gentlemen, where he averaged 10.7 points per game on 45% from beyond the arc. Because he didn't shoot a single one shot from inside the perimeter, ladies and gentlemen. Not one single shot from inside the perimeter. But he is going to head to the Westchester Knicks. Moving on here let's update the D-League draft board. Not our D-League draft big board, at Ridiculous Upside, our actual D-League draft board. With the 17th overall pick, the RGV Vipers select TJ Price. There we go, TJ Price. He was 22nd on our D-League draft big board, so we're getting close. We're getting close here to actually finding players that we pick the exact position from. But TJ Price, former Western Kentucky alum, 6'4" guard. He spent his entire career with Western Kentucky. And again, we're sticking here with terrific perimeter threats, because during his senior season at Western Kentucky, he put up 17 points, 4 assists, and 0.9 steals per game on 44% from the field and 41% from beyond the arc. Those numbers allow Price to be on the Conference USA All-Conference first team during his senior season, and he is going to the RGV Vipers. And having a perimeter shooter like that on the RGV Vipers, good Lord. Picture that, everybody. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Having TJ Price mix in there on that continued, fast-paced, perimeter-minded team of the RGV Vipers. Moving on now to the 18th overall pick by the Austin Spurs. They draft a prospect from Southern Mississippi. It is Maurice Bolden. And I don't believe that we have Maurice Bolden on our draft big board. I'll look it up quick. No Maurice Bolden on our draft big board. But Maurice Bolden, he's one of the older prospects but that has been picked. But he's a 6'10", 200-pound small forward. Maybe it's a power forward. He is an alum of Southern Mississippi. Let's take a look at some of his numbers right now. Maurice Bolden, he has spent the last 3 seasons in the National Basketball League in Canada with our friends in Canada at the National Basketball League. Ridiculous Upside and the National Basketball League have a little tight connection. We're buddies. National Basketball League, Ridiculous Upside, we're like this. We're like this, ladies and gentlemen. We're like this. Maurice Bolden, last season with the London Lightning, 10.1 points, 6.9 rebounds per game on 48% from the field and 35% from beyond the arc. And I just believe I am going to stay with you guys until the end of the first round because I'm getting a little, my voice is getting a little tired. And my nose is starting to run. And I don't want to just, go to my nose all the time because it will embarrass me. But yeah, I think we're just going to stay here until the first round. Now I'm going to come back later on here on YouTube to discuss, to give a little draft recap. I guess we're going to stick here until the end of the first round. And we're getting close to the end of the first round with the 19th overall pick going to the Canada Charge with them selecting Roosevelt Jones. Butler alum that had a fantastic 4-year career with the Butler Bulldogs. During his college career, Jones averaged 11 points, 3.4 assists, and 1.06 steals per game on 45% from the field. That consistency allowed 6'4" Jones to be named to all the Big East second team in 2014-15 and 2015-16. Moving on, the Maine Red Claw select Adam Woodbury, 7'1" center from the University of Iowa. Hawkeyes. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. With the Hawkeyes, 7'1" Woodbury stood as a solid backup big that was able to impress in his limited role. Woodbury averaged 7.6 points and 8.3 rebounds per game, 3.1 offensive rebounds per game. I think that's most exciting about Adam Woodbury, who is heading to the Maine Red Claws. Moving on here, let's update the league draft board. And with the 21st overall pick, they pick the RGV Vipers pick Amin Tanksley. Hofstra. Amin Tanksley, was he actually 25th? 21st. He was 31st. We were 10 picks behind. But 31st, Amin Tanksley, 6'5" Hofstra. Along on Tanksley, during his time in Hofstra, he stood as one of the better mid-major guards, especially during the 2015-16 season, where he put up impressive numbers with 15.8 points and 5.2 rebounds per game on 42% from the field and 36% from beyond the arc. Amin Tanksley, selected by the RGV Vipers. Amin Tanksley, TJ Price. That's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch during this upcoming season. And closing out the first round and my time here on this live stream, because I need some time to take some time to actually relax and rest my voice. The Sioux Falls Skyforce select Ike Anwambu, an alum of UNLV, and a player that wasn't on our draft big board. So So I'm gonna actually have to take a look at him, look him up here on Real GM. But Ike Onwamu is a player that spent his time, like I mentioned, at UNLV. But before that, he played with Mercer, and he also played with Cleveland State. He had his best time, actually, at Mercer during his junior season, where he averaged 15.1 points per game, 42% from the field, and 37% from behind the arc. Aikwamu is a 6'5" guard that was on the All-SoCon first team during his junior season at Mercer. And that will close out everything with our NBA draft live stream here right now, because I might be catching cold, and I don't think I can talk for another, as much as I want to, I don't think I can talk for another 5 rounds. So I'm going to close up shop here, but hopefully I can come back later on in the day to get my recap of this NBA D-League draft. This is Dakota Schmidt, editor-in-chief of Ridiculous Upside. And everybody, I'll see you, hopefully, in a few hours.